This recording artist was destined to be labeled a one-hit wonder, yet that tune became an R&B and rock and roll mainstay and marks Motown Records' first significant smash. This musician had more continuous success as a songwriter, creating significant success for Marvin Gaye, the Dells, Mary Wells, and others, as well as writing many of the songs that repositioned the Temptations as one of Motown's most advanced acts. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Barrett Strong. Before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push the notification bell to be sure you won't miss on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born Barrett Strong Jr. in West Point, Mississippi on February 5, 1941. Barrett Strong Sr., a preacher who moved his family to Detroit, Michigan in 1945, gave birth to 6 children. One of them was his sole son. Not shortly after moving into their new house, his father purchased an old piano, and while he had little luck training himself to play, his kid was quickly picking out tunes. While Barrett was a student at Hutchins Middle School in Detroit, where Aretha Franklin was a classmate, his sisters created Strong Sisters, a gospel singing group, and he joined them on piano. The Strong House became a gathering place for ambitious young artists, because Strong later joked that many of the young guys came because his sisters were pretty. And it was during an impromptu jam session that he met Jackie Wilson, who would shortly go on to become a celebrity. Through Wilson, Strong met Berry Gordy, a composer who had written several songs for Wilson. Strong wowed Gordy with an impromptu rendition of Ray Charles' Drown in My Own Tears, and Gordy hired him. Gordy, a successful songwriter and record producer, called Strong to a recording session in 1959, and while hearing What I Say by Ray Charles, Strong began extrapolating a different melody for a difficult R&B song. The song would evolve into Money, That's What I Want, which Gordy published on his emerging Tamla label. The song went on to become a significant R&B success, reaching number 2 on the R&B singles list and peaking at 23 on the mainstream charts. Ironically, Strong would subsequently spend years in a legal dispute with Gordy, claiming he authored the song while his credit disappeared and reappeared numerous times as Gordy renewed the song's copyright. Strong continued to develop and record songs for Tamla Motown, but his subsequent releases failed to chart. He left the company in 1962 and moved to Chicago, where he made sides for Atco and Tully Records. He co-wrote Stay in My Corner with Wade Flemings and Robert Eugene Miller. The song was a hit for the Dells when they were signed to VJ in 1965, and it did even better when they re-recorded it for Cadet in 1968, and number 1 on the R&B list and peaking at number 10 on the mainstream chart. Strong was no more successful as a recording artist in Chicago than he had been at Motown, so he returned to Detroit and joined Motown songwriters. In 1967, he co-wrote a song with Norman Whitfield called I Heard It Through the Grapevine, which became a hit for Gladys Knight and the Pips, and even greater when Marvin Gaye performed it a year later. With Whitfield creating the music and Strong handling the words, they were formidable songwriting partners, and in 1969 they penned War, a daring socio-political statement by Motown standards that Edward Starr made a smash. War served as the foundation for a series of songs Strong and Whitfield wrote for the Temptations, modernizing their style with psychedelic elements and contemporary themes. Cloud 9, Psychedelic Shack, I Can't Get Next to You, and Ball of Confusion. That's what the world is today, where all major chart successes for the Temptations And when they pointed the group toward a more measured and personal tone with 1971's Just My Imagination, Running Away With Me, and 1972's Papa Was a Rolling Stone, both songs went to #1 on the pop charts. Strong was one of numerous musicians who elected to remain in Detroit after Motown relocated its operations from Detroit to Los Angeles in 1972. He took advantage of the opportunity to resume performing, and after recording a 1973 single for Epic, Stand Up and Cheer for the Preacher, he signed with Capitol, where he released his debut album Stronghold in 1975. His second album for Capitol, Live in Love, was released in 1976 and was his final album with the label. Strong continued to create songs and produce material for other artists, and his song Money lived a unique life. Being performed by everyone from the Beatles, Jerry Lee Lewis, to the Flying Lizards, Strong recorded Love Is You for the independent Cherry label in 1980. And in 1995, he founded Blair Records, a Detroit-based label dedicated to developing fresh talent in the Motor City. Blair released Strong's fourth album, Stronghold Volume 2, in 2000 with vocalist Eliza Mills. Strong and Norman Whitfield were admitted to the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2004, and when Mills recorded a new version of Misery. Which Strong released on Tamla in 1961, he appeared in the music video, a first for him. Strong suffered a stroke in 2009, forcing him to retire. Barrett Strong passed on January 28, 2023, at his home in San Diego, California, at the age of 81. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song that Barrett Strong wrote?